This woman is different. 12 women, 12 lives. 12 shocking realities the world was never ready for. Each one different. Each one unforgettable. And each one will leave you questioning everything you thought was normal. These are not ordinary stories. These are the most unusual women who shocked the world. Watch closely, because what you're about to see, you won't forget. This is 12 Unusual Women Who Shocked the World. Are you new in this video? Click subscribe and hit notification bell, so let's get started. At first glance, Lulu Gilreath may look like just another young girl. But in 2016, her life changed in one terrifying moment at Omaha's Cinco de Mayo festival, when she was injured on the King's Crown Carnival ride and her hair became caught in the machinery. She was only 11 years old at the time, and news reports said the accident left her in critical condition. What happened next shocked the public. Reports said Lulu suffered severe head injuries, and later coverage explained that she went through multiple surgeries, several skin grafts, one eye surgery, and dozens of blood transfusions during her recovery. But even after everything she went through, Lulu kept fighting. A year later, she spoke publicly about her recovery, and her story showed how far she had come from that hospital bed to facing the world again with courage. In interviews, she reflected on the accident and on the scars she carried, showing a strength that inspired many people who followed her story. Lulu Gilreath's story is not just about a tragic accident. It is about survival, pain, recovery, and the kind of bravery that can only be measured after life changes forever. And that is why her name is remembered by so many people today. Marie Trainor's story shocked many people because it began with something so small that almost no one would imagine it becoming life-threatening. In 2019, the Ohio woman became seriously ill after a bacterial infection that doctors believed may have entered her body through a small scrape and contact with dog saliva. What started like flu-like symptoms quickly turned into a medical emergency. According to reports, Marie first felt sick after returning from a trip, and her condition worsened so fast that she had to be rushed to the hospital. Doctors later placed her in a medically induced coma for about 10 days as they fought to save her life. During that time, her infection led to sepsis, and her body suffered devastating damage. When she woke up, the reality was heartbreaking. Marie had undergone partial amputations of both arms and both legs in order to survive. Doctors suspected the infection was caused by Capnocytophaga canamorsis, a bacterium found in the mouths of dogs and cats that can become dangerous if it enters the body through a wound. What makes Marie Trainor's story unforgettable is not only the tragedy, but her strength after it. News reports later showed her working through recovery, learning to live again, and facing a future that changed in an instant. Her case became a powerful reminder that even something that seems harmless can turn dangerous, especially when an infection spreads too quickly. Marie Trainor's story is one of survival, pain, and resilience, and that is why the world never forgot her name. At first glance, Lulu Gilreath looks like someone in her 20s. But the truth shocked people around the world. She is a Taiwanese interior designer and influencer who first went viral because many could not believe how young she looked despite being in her 40s. When international media featured her in 2017, she was 41 years old and already being called one of the most youthful-looking women online. What made her story even more unbelievable was her family. Reports said her sisters and mother also looked unusually young, and the family became known in Taiwan as the family of frozen ages. That only added to the mystery around Lulu's appearance and made people even more fascinated by her story. Lulu later shared that her youthful look was not just luck. She credited strong skincare habits, constant hydration, sunscreen, a balanced diet, and regular exercise. In interviews and later coverage, she also emphasized the importance of avoiding too much sun, drinking plenty of water, and staying disciplined with daily habits. And the shock did not stop there. In 2025, media reports said Lure had just turned 50, yet she was still going viral for looking far younger than her real age. That is why her name continues to stand out in stories about unusual women who shocked the world. At first glance, Porsche Cena is the kind of person many people would look at twice. But behind her unusual appearance is a real medical condition that has made her story go viral. Porsche, an 18-year-old from New Jersey, was born with ichthyosis confetti, an extremely rare genetic skin disorder that causes red patches and tiny white confetti-like spots where the skin heals. It also makes her skin grow and shed much faster than normal, leaving her without a full protective outer layer. Growing up, Porsche had to deal with questions, stares, and misunderstanding. But she was also supported by her family and by specialists through major medical centers and the Foundation for Ichthyosis and Related Skin Types, or FIRST. She eventually found a community of people who understood what she was living through. What shocked the internet even more was the way she used social media. Porsche posted a TikTok explaining her condition, and that video went viral, reaching more than 13 million views. Her story connected with people not only because of how rare her condition is, but because of the calm and confident way she spoke about it. Porsche says she does not want to be defined only by her skin. She wants to live a normal life, focus on her passions, and keep educating people along the way. That is what makes her story so powerful. Not just that she looks different, but that she turned difference into awareness. This woman wasn't just a fan of Corpse Bride. She was completely obsessed. So obsessed that she wanted to become the character herself. Inspired by Emily, the Corpse Bride, she transformed her appearance using makeup, editing, and cosmetic procedures, creating a look that shocked the entire internet. Some people called it art, others called it extreme. But one thing is certain, her transformation is something you won't easily forget. What do you think about her? Let us know in the comments. Imagine being your own twin. That's the incredible reality for Taylor Mule, an American singer, model, and advocate. For years, Taylor lived with a distinctive two-tone demarcation on her torso, which was initially dismissed as a unique birthmark. However, as she grew, she experienced persistent health issues, including autoimmune challenges, that doctors struggled to explain. It wasn't until 2009 that Taylor received a life-changing diagnosis. She has a rare genetic condition called chimerism. This means that very early in her mother's pregnancy, two fraternal twin eggs, each fertilized by a different sperm, fused together. As a result, Taylor absorbed her twin sister's cells and now carries two distinct sets of DNA within her own body. Essentially, she is her own twin. This unique condition manifests visually in her skin's differing pigmentation, with one side of her torso appearing slightly redder than the other, a visible testament to her twin's genetic makeup. Beyond the visible, Taylor's chimerism has also given her two immune systems and even two blood types. Her body's constant battle against what it perceives as foreign cells from her twin is believed to contribute to her ongoing autoimmune issues. After years of living with undiagnosed health problems and hiding her physical difference, Taylor bravely decided to go public with her story in 2017. Since then, she has become a powerful advocate for chimerism awareness, body positivity, and understanding autoimmune conditions. Her journey is a remarkable example of human diversity and the hidden complexities of our own biology. Flo and Kay Lyman are not just identical twins, they are among the rarest people on the planet. Born in the 1950s in the United States, Flo and Kay are the only known female autistic savant twins in the world. While their appearance is identical, what truly sets them apart is what's going on inside their minds. Diagnosed with autism at a young age, the twins struggled with social interactions and communication. But alongside their challenges came extraordinary abilities. Flo and Kay possess photographic memory and can recall the exact date, day of the week, weather, and events of any day in their lives, even decades ago. They are true calendar savants. Their minds work in perfect sync. They are obsessed with order, schedules, and especially TV shows. Their biggest fascination? Dick Clark, the legendary TV host. They memorized everything about his life, his routines, appearances, and even the times he ate or traveled. Their story was featured in documentaries and gained public attention not just for their unique abilities, but for the deep bond they share. Flo and Kay live in their own world, one filled with routines, memory, and love for each other. Despite their condition, they've taught the world that autism doesn't always mean limitation. Sometimes it reveals an incredible and mysterious superpower of the mind. Shenina Isome was living a normal life as a college student in Memphis, Tennessee, when everything changed. In 2009, a simple allergic reaction turned into a medical nightmare that no one could explain. After being prescribed steroids for an asthma attack, Shenina began developing painful, sharp black scabs all over her body, but these weren't just scabs. They were hard, spike-like growths pushing out of her skin, where hair should be. Doctors were stunned. Her body was producing 20 times the normal amount of skin cells per hair follicle, causing these bizarre, painful growths that made it feel like she was growing fingernails instead of hair. The condition left her unable to walk, in constant discomfort, and struggling with extreme infections. Despite being treated by over a dozen specialists, her condition remained undiagnosed for years, so rare in fact that she was believed to be the only person in the world with it. It was eventually labeled as a mystery skin disorder, possibly linked to her immune system or a rare genetic reaction. Through the pain and confusion, Shenina never gave up. She fought not just for her life, but for answers. Her strength and resilience turned her into an advocate, raising awareness for rare diseases and those suffering without a diagnosis. Shenina's story reminds us that the human body can be both fragile and unbelievably strong, and sometimes the rarest battles are fought in silence. Iris Kyle was born on August 22, 1974, in Benton Harbor, Michigan, the fifth of 6 children. From an early age, she excelled in sports such as cross-country running, basketball, where she earned All-American honors, and softball, showcasing that competitive fire early on. Her transition into bodybuilding came somewhat unexpectedly. After moving to Orange County, California, she found herself surrounded by fit, sculpted physiques and was inspired to pursue the same kind of training. I remember walking into the gym. I was a little overwhelmed, but I knew I could build the body I wanted, she later recalled. She entered her first amateur contest, the Long Beach Muscle Classic, in 1994, and she won it. After progressing rapidly through the amateur ranks, she earned her IFBB Pro card and made her professional debut in 1999. From there, Iris's career exploded. She is the most successful professional bodybuilder of all time, male or female, having secured a total of 20 professional titles, including 10 overall EMS Olympia wins, the years 2004, then 2006 through 2014, and 7 MIMS international wins. Her dominance wasn't just about winning, it was about consistency, evolution, and refusing to be satisfied. She often speaks about how each year she had to elevate her physique, refine her presentation, and fight to stay on top. Her legacy is clear. Iris Kyle didn't just win titles, she rewrote what was possible in women's bodybuilding, broke records no one else has matched, and remains a benchmark of excellence. When you hear most decorated bodybuilder, her name is the one that stands above all. Rentsenkhoreloo Bud, known online as Ren, is a Mongolian woman who became internationally famous for having some of the longest legs ever recorded on a woman. Standing over 6 feet 9 inches tall, Ren's incredible height comes from a rare combination of genetics. Both her parents are extremely tall, with her father measuring 6'10" and her mother 6'1". But what truly sets Ren apart are her legs, each one measuring more than 52 inches long, giving her a striking appearance that has captured global attention. Growing up, Ren often struggled with everyday tasks, finding clothes, fitting inside cars, and even walking through doorways without bending. But instead of hiding her height, she embraced it. Ren began sharing her life on social media, where her unique proportions quickly went viral. Today, she inspires millions by promoting body confidence and showing that extreme differences can be beautiful. Her extraordinary legs also place her among the women with the longest limbs in modern history, right next to well-known record holders like Russia's Ekaterina Lysina. Despite not pursuing an official Guinness title herself, experts confirm that Ren's leg length is genuinely world-class. From facing childhood insecurities to becoming an icon of self-acceptance, Rentsenkhoreloo Bud proves that being different isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. Her story reminds us that some people are truly unbelievable, in the most inspiring way. Duangjay Samaksamam from Thailand became known worldwide for living with one of the most extreme and rare cases of macrodystrophia lipomatosa, a condition that causes massive overgrowth of fat, tissue, and skin. Since birth, both of her arms, and especially her hands, began to swell uncontrollably, eventually growing so large and heavy that even simple tasks like lifting objects, combing her hair, or dressing herself became difficult. Her arms together can weigh up to 20 kilograms, making this one of the most severe documented cases of limb overgrowth in medical history. For most of her life, Duangjay lived in isolation. The size of her arms made people stare, and she often felt embarrassed and avoided public spaces. Doctors attempted treatments, but the condition was so advanced and intertwined with nerves and blood vessels that surgery became extremely risky. Specialists warned that operating could cause permanent damage, or even lead to losing the use of her hands altogether. Despite these challenges, Duangjay's story gained global attention after a documentary featured her daily struggles and her incredible determination to live normally. Viewers were shocked to see how she carried the weight of her arms, ran a small family business, and continued caring for herself despite the pain. Her bravery inspired millions, and medical experts around the world recognized her case as one of the rarest forms of congenital localized gigantism ever recorded. Today, Duangjay Samaksamam remains a symbol of strength. Her story reminds us that some of the most unbelievable people on Earth are not defined by their condition, but by their courage to keep going. Diana Armstrong is a woman from Minnesota, USA, who holds the official Guinness World Record for the longest fingernails on a pair of hands ever recorded. Her fingernails have a combined length of over 42 feet, more than 12 meters, a record that was officially recognized by Guinness World Records. Diana began growing her fingernails in 1997 as a personal tribute to her daughter, who passed away that same year. What started as an emotional decision later became one of the most extreme and recognizable human records in the world. Over the years, her nails continued to grow naturally without being cut, eventually reaching lengths that most people could hardly imagine. Living with such extraordinarily long fingernails comes with daily challenges. Diana has spoken about the difficulty of performing simple tasks such as cooking, cleaning, and getting dressed. She must carefully protect her nails at all times to prevent damage, making everyday life far more complicated than usual. Despite these challenges, Diana views her nails as a symbol of love, strength, and remembrance. Her story is not just about record-breaking length, but also about emotional resilience and dedication. Today, Diana Armstrong remains one of the most remarkable examples of how deeply personal choices can lead to extraordinary and unforgettable human records. Liudmila is a 25-year-old woman from Sevastopol in Crimea who has gained attention for her unusually long neck, which measures about 7 inches from shoulder to chin, a feature linked to her rare genetic condition. She was born with Marfan syndrome, a hereditary disorder that affects connective tissue. This condition can lead to elongated limbs, a slender frame, altered vertebrae, and a weaker spine, and has shaped much of Liudmila's growth and appearance. Liudmila's rapid growth began early. By the age of 11, she had already experienced a noticeable growth spurt, and at 14 years old she reached a height of around 6 feet 5 inches, well above average. Because of her condition, she required regular medical monitoring, including frequent visits to specialists to check her endocrine system, as well as her kidneys and liver. Growing up, Liudmila often felt shy and self-conscious about her appearance. However, as a teenager she experienced a shift in perspective. She later said that there came a moment when she stopped seeing her unique proportions as something negative and began to embrace her difference and how it made her stand out. Liudmila also shares a strong bond with her sister Tamara, who, despite not having Marfan syndrome herself, grew to a similar height. Their shared experiences helped strengthen their relationship and turn what could have been a challenging journey into a story of confidence, family support, and self-acceptance. Her story illustrates how rare genetic conditions can influence body proportions and how individuals learn to accept and celebrate their uniqueness, even when it draws public curiosity. 12 women, 12 shocking stories. Each one proved that being different can change everything, from rare conditions to unbelievable transformations. These are stories the world will never forget. Which one shocked you the most? Comment down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. See you on my next video.